I apologize for the wonky angle. I don't have my phone stand right now, so this will have to do. Texting gives me so much anxiety, and I know I'm not the only one, but sometimes I feel absolutely crazy for how much I spiral when it comes to texting somebody, or waiting for somebody's text, more like. Oh shoot, my friend responded to me today after a couple days, and I had totally forgotten about it, but they were telling me about them moving and stuff, their moving date and all that, and so I was responding to all of it, and after I sent the message, I did what I normally do and reread it several times. I don't even know what I was looking for at this point. Usually it's just like reading through it to make sure I didn't spell anything wrong or put the wrong words or whatever, which is one thing, but when you reread it 2, 3, 4 times, even after leaving the app entirely, that's a bit much, I think. I don't think that's very healthy. But I get so like scared that I said something stupid, or I said something that's gonna make them think that I'm weird, or I just said something like, I basically reread it so I can edit it to perfection. I think I'm a perfectionist. Which really sucks, because now I gotta figure out how to not do that, because it sends me down a spiral and makes me feel like I have to be rereading what I sent every 5 minutes. And then it leads me to feeling like when they don't respond, I did something wrong, or they're ignoring me. And it sounds really insecure, but it is. I have a hard time admitting that, but perfectionism and I guess insecurity in general is an issue right now. But I made a list of things to help not overread or reread or get anxious about sending texts. And we're gonna read that, and we're gonna go through them, and we're gonna talk about it. Because I am done. I am freaking done opening my phone simply because you haven't responded. It doesn't even make sense when I say it out loud. But anyway, I feel like it's a really big insecurity. And I feel like for a lot of people has a lot to do with just wanting that validation of like, hey, I put something in your court and you're not sending it back, and now I'm worried that until you bring it back, now I'm worried that it was wrong or weird or stupid or whatever, however it makes you feel. That's how it makes me feel. So let's get to the list. How to not overread / get anxious over text. Let's find out. After sending the text, tell yourself, that version of me is enough. I don't need to reread to make it better. I feel like that would help a lot, especially since I reread texts to make them perfect, to sound right, as if we don't send typos all the time. It doesn't really matter who it is. If it's my mom or my dad or my sister or my brother, honestly I don't think about it that much, but literally anybody else, I can't have typos. No typos.
I didn't understand a one word you said.
Or just like put a wrong word in there, or make it sound more mature or sound more fun. Like, I think too much. When you notice the urge to reread the text, ask yourself, am I trying to control the perception to feel safe? And can I offer myself safely right now instead? I think a lot of why I reread has to do with trying to control somebody's perception of me, which I do struggle with. I don't want them to think of me as something negative or something that I don't want them to, but I mean, I can't control that. And I know that, but I still find myself trying to in the least manipulative ways possible, because I know that could be a very manipulative thing. But I'll go through the test like, oh, I don't want them to think this or that. I think I'm to this or I'm to that. It's not very socially accepted to not immediately respond to somebody. Like, take your time. Like, sometimes people need a breather I mean, if you're in an active conversation where you're already going back and forth, I mean, that's one thing. You can still pause even in an active conversation. But if like there's a whole day or several hours in between the responses, then I can see how stopping and asking yourself, can I offer a healthy version of myself right now? It's okay to back up. I used to get really anxious and guilty when I would wait like a whole day, multiple days to respond to somebody, thinking I was gonna piss them off or something. But that never happened. So scared. And then when I would respond and they would respond, it's like, oh, you're not actually going to stop being friends with me entirely just because I didn't respond immediately to you. Oh. What? If somebody can't respect the fact that you need some time to figure out what you want to say and how you want to say it, then that's on them. This is more about them than it is you, really. It just shows that they're, one, impatient, and two, don't care about how you want to talk. They don't care about how you want to express yourself. Walk away and physically get up, even if it's just to stretch or get water. Yes. I hyper focus on things really easily, and when I want to stop focusing on them, I have to do something entirely different, or else I will stay in my bed focusing on the same thing for hours. So that's probably very helpful. Like I said, even if it's just to get up and stretch or get some water, like, change it. Just be like, send. Put the phone down. Don't stay on the phone. That's where I messed up a lot. I'll stay on my phone and just wait for that notification to come down. Because, one, I hate notifications. So I don't have notifications for literally anything but my messages and my emails. So I know when a notification comes in, it's either my email or a message. So why am I still on my phone waiting for a notification that's not there? I know that's the only thing that comes up. And if I haven't heard it, then it's not there. So staying on my phone after sending, my hair is like tickling my face. Staying on my phone after sending a message just really messes up the whole not thinking about it and just continuing your day thing. I feel like, anyway.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
Genius. I should get an award for this. Genius. Oh my gosh. I will reopen the conversation and reread text just to make sure that like everything's good. Not healthy. Not healthy. People have their own lives, man. I have my own life, and I don't get upset when my friend takes multiple days to respond, because she'll come back and be like, yo, sorry, I had a lot of work this week. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I don't care. You have a life. And then when it's my turn, I'm like, I didn't ask for a response right now. Why aren't you responding? Did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong. You are literally just a person who has a life just like the person that you're messaging. So, like I said, send the text or multiple texts. Get up and do something else, and don't open that conversation until they message back. And it kind of sounds like a hard boundary to keep, honestly. But I feel like putting down your phone will help. Like, making that separation from you and your phone would help a lot. Ask yourself what you're really nervous about. When my friend told me that they were moving, they used the emoji where it's like peeking out of its eye, peeking out of its fingers, you know? And the first thing I thought was like, oh, did you not want to tell me? And I just made it so weird. And they were like, no, I just thought it'd be funny. I overthought that way too hard. And I was so embarrassed. And they didn't make me feel embarrassed at all. Like, it had nothing to do with her whatsoever. I just felt so embarrassed. And when I feel embarrassed, it's the worst. I have to do everything I can to, like, undo it. As if I can just rewind and replay it and take it out. I will do whatever I can. Oh my gosh, it sounds crazy, but it's really human, honestly, feeling embarrassed about something that you did and wanting that feeling of embarrassment to go and wanting proof that even though you did that, you're still you're still a good person, they still like you. That's human as fuck. Really, it is, honestly. People feel things, people do things, and that makes them feel dumb. That makes them feel like they need proof and validation from the other person just to make sure that everything's okay. But honestly, if you're always on the tip, like if one little thing can unbalance your entire relationship with this person, and not just romantic relationship, literally any relationship, if the tiniest thing can throw it out of balance, it's not healthy. But I know she's not mad at me. I know she didn't have a problem with it. She just explained it, and I was just embarrassed because I took it the wrong way. And she understood that. But our entire friendship wasn't thrown out of the balance. I'm just embarrassed and don't want to feel embarrassed. And then when I responded to her, all of her messages, if I try to think about why I was rereading them, I would probably say because I didn't want her to feel like I was just focusing on me. Because she said that she was excited to go and scared. And so I told her that, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. When I left, I was really scared too, and a lot of new experience usually are scary. Even when you're excited about it, it is really scary. But I was trying to explain to her that when I left and traveled with my family, like, it was a lot of new places and I was scared, but it was awesome and I'm really glad we did it, and I hope it's the same for her, no matter how it goes for her. I was trying to support her with my own experiences. And then after I sent those messages, I was like, shit, is she gonna think that I was using it as an excuse to talk about myself? Because I wasn't. I was really just trying to relate to her and make her feel better about feeling scared for leaving. And so I reread them, edited a couple. I think I was just really anxious about being taken in a narcissistic way, because that's not what I was trying to do. But you can't control how somebody's going to take something, right? And even if you explain that afterwards, like if they do take it that way and you explain it to them and they still don't understand, that's a whole nother conversation, I guess. And if they just can't process, that's not what I meant, dude, I was trying to help you, then maybe you need to figure out a different way to do that. Or maybe you're fine. Honestly, maybe it's really just the way that they take things needs to be adjusted. It's not always one side to blame or the other. But also don't put so much blame on yourself that you stop supporting people in your own way. Because that is how I support people. I explain to them something that I went through, if I can relate to it, and how it went for me. That's just how I support people. That's how I help them feel better. Because I'm yeah, I went through something similar. And it usually works. Now that I think about it, it's usually a good thing. So really, it's just that overthinker again. Write somewhere safe first, like your notes app or journal, and pause before sending. I do that. I have done that. I tend to forget that I can do that. Respond to their texts in your notes app first, reread it, and see if everything's good, how you want it. Not everything's good, how you want it. And then copy and paste it into the messages and send it there. I mean, it would be really easy to reread it in your notes too, but maybe just, what I usually do is I write the messages in my notes. I say usually, I remember all the time, but I don't. I will write the message in my notes, go do something else. I'll just be it's like a draft, right? Draft it, come back. I'll remember, oh yeah, I gotta message back this person. Go back, reread it, and be okay, this can go, this can be changed. All right, that's cool. And then send it. And then what I need to get better at is just sending it and letting it be. But I think the notes app, or even journaling it, or I don't know any other apps where you could do that, honestly. I'm just gonna keep saying notes app, and literally anywhere that you could put it down. I feel like that sense of safety where this isn't gonna be taking the wrong way because nobody's seeing it but me. I feel like that safety will help ease the amount of pressure that comes with typing it up, coming up with what you want to say. Literally, it's just you who's reading it right now, so you could say anything you want, and when you come back to it, you can edit it with the idea of sending it to that person, which sounds a lot easier, a lot less stressful. So let's try that. Change. Oh my goodness, hold on, I need some water. There's only like 2 left. Change no reply. Wait, change no reply means something is wrong to they have their own life and things to do, and that's okay. So I feel like I've said this quite a few times, but just because somebody's not replying doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that they're angry or upset with you in any way, which I need to remember too. But it's so easy. Especially when it comes to multiple days. When I first started getting used to letting people take days to respond, that was hard. That was really hard. But and at first thinking about all the things that they could be doing, that didn't help. But But it was also because I wasn't taking into consideration that they have their own responsibilities. Because when all you have is a relationship with somebody over messages, you don't see their day-to-day life. You know, it's just you have your own life and you make the time for this text messaging, you make the time for them. And when they can't make that time for you, it feels like a personal attack because you don't see what's going on with the rest of their life. They could have work, kids maybe, their own hobbies and careers, school, and they could just be taking a whole rest day to themselves, which is perfectly fine. I mean, they could just be taking their own day and not want to make time for anybody, not just you. You're not the only person that they text. You are not the only person in their life. I am not the only person in my friend's life, and that's fine. And that would be really sad if I was, especially since she's a really amazing person. But I am not the only person in her life, and I understand that now. Make it very clear that this is in reference to anybody who experiences anxiety when it comes to messaging somebody or just their relationships with other people that they don't see very often. I am in no way trying to dismiss anybody who doesn't have a lot of personal connections in their life, because I know that there are people who hardly have any supportive relationships in their life. Like, look out for your friends, you know, check in with them if you know that they're having a hard time in their life right now. This is literally just about people who experience anxiety in terms of connecting with people and knowing where they stand with other people. And I have to understand that her not having the time to respond to me is just as okay as me taking the time to respond, even after seeing the messages. And like Instagram, when you can see when somebody reads your message, which part of me thinks is really stupid and really stress-inducing, and somebody should get sued for that. But when you can see somebody's messages, it just puts a whole nother amount of stress or guilt. I felt really bad because she could see that I saw them, but I didn't respond to them for like 3 days because I didn't know what to say. I was just really taken back. I had no idea that she had planned on leaving, and so it just took me back for a second. And by second, I mean multiple days. And I had to readjust and see how that actually made me feel. And then I also got caught up in my own life stuff. So, you know, I think taking that time for other people is really underappreciated. And so when somebody does, I feel like we should appreciate it just a little bit more. And the final one. I'm not saying these are the only ways, but they are definitely things that I will be trying personally, and maybe eventually let you guys know how it's been going. But the final one. Show yourself grace when it comes to imperfect messages. You don't need to be perfect to have value. So don't beat yourself up if and when you do send a message that isn't perfect. You know, if it has typos, or if you didn't say if something that you wanted to say didn't come across how you actually did want it to say, because you could send a perfect message and somebody could still take it the wrong way. Like, let's show ourselves some grace for being an imperfect human being. I mean, it sounds easy. I know, and I know it's not. It sounds really easy, but it's hard. So maybe practicing in the notes, you know, just drafting it up, maybe that'll help get us used to just writing imperfect messages. And what did it say? You don't need to be perfect to have value. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Perfection is a perception, and somebody's perception of perfect can be completely different than somebody else's, just like most things in life. So once we accept that perfection is just what we feel like we have to be in order to be accepted, in order to receive validation, then it's no big deal. Once you stop trying to be perfect for somebody or perfect for a specific perception, I feel like it'll be anxiety out the window. And anxiety doesn't go away, but it's trying to tell you something. When you feel scared to do something, it's not a bad thing. It is literally just trying to tell you, I don't like this, and I need you to figure out why. I don't like waiting for somebody to respond. Why? For me, I don't like waiting for somebody to respond because, one, I'm a little impatient, and two, because I'm worried I did something wrong. And in my youth, I did what I could. I say youth like I'm not only 20 years old. What I mean, in my childhood, I spent a lot of time trying to do the right thing not to get in trouble. So I feel like some of that has bled into my adulthood, and now I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to be taken the wrong way, and my anxiety is scared of that. Not specifically getting in trouble, because I'm not going to get in trouble with my friend. I'm just scared that I'm going to do something to lose her. I feel like that's at the very center. That may not have been specifically why I was anxious waiting for her reply, but I feel like at the very center, I just don't want to lose anybody. Not just her specifically, but in general. Losing somebody is probably one of the main fears when it comes to my anxiety. So when you feel yours, ask yourself, what do you need from me? Why are we scared? What is the main need that's not being met right now? What needs are you missing? And don't be mean to yourself, because it happens to everybody. There's plenty of people with unmet needs, but trying to pay a little bit more attention to the anxiety inside of you and what it is trying to tell you need, that's the first step. I feel like the next time I feel anxious about something, I'm gonna ask myself, okay, what do I need? What do we need? And I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna go from there. And I'm not gonna make myself feel bad for not meeting that need, because I probably didn't know I needed it. But for the ones that I did know I need, I'm still not gonna beat myself up, because that's not gonna get me anywhere. It's not gonna get you anywhere either. It's not gonna get anybody anywhere. I really hope that we can get better at letting go when needed, because this is obviously about how to let go when you're texting somebody, and how to let go of anxiety when you're messaging somebody and waiting for that response. And that is what this video is about. But I also feel like it also plays into letting go when it's time to let go. So you're not constantly clinging on to something and the possibilities of what might happen next, which is causing the anxiety. Because worrying about the future is anxiety. If you've ever seen the movie Inside Out 2, if you haven't, you need to watch it. If you have, then you understand what I'm saying, especially one of the last scenes in the movie. That's a good scene to explain that anxiety is worrying about the future, but this isn't the future. This is right now. Right now, they haven't responded, and I'm not going to worry about when they will or what they will say, because I will spiral until I hate myself. That's where it always ends up. I will spiral until I hate myself. I will find something to hate myself about. And goodness gracious, that is some of the most unhealthy habits that I currently have. And I'm working really hard to figure out how to let go of them and how to understand what my body needs, what I need. So let go of the future in this anxiety sense, right? You don't need to hold on to something to make sure it goes your way, because sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, and that's okay. No matter how it goes, you're still you. That's not going to change. And like I said, you can't control somebody's perspective, and I have to remind myself of that too. All of this is not just like for you guys. This is for me, absolutely. Like, I'm currently going through this. Let's just let go of perceptions, and I feel like we'd be a lot happier. Okay, awesome. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad you're here, and if you liked it, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.